Hey, friend, welcome to the Grief to Great Day podcast and the Lighthouse community. Do you feel like you're going crazy? Is the shower the only place you let yourself really cry? Are you surrounded by people yet still feel completely alone? And do you long to be the you were before they died, but you have no idea how to get there? I'm Steph Cabanis, Southern by choice, wife, wannabe triathlete, Jesus follower, and fellow traveler on this road of grief. I know what it's like to struggle, to breathe, to question God and my faith, and to wonder if happiness would ever return. But friend, let me tell you, God is still good and there is still hope. Grief may feel like you're lost in a storm at sea, tossed by waves you never saw coming. But in that darkness, there is still a light. And that's what we do here in the Lighthouse community. We follow the light of the Lord. We take small steps forward, and we lean on faith even when we don't feel like we have any. So if you're ready to navigate this journey, to find your footing after loss, and to take just one step toward healing, bring your ugly cry, get into a comfortable place, even if that's your bed right now, and let the healing begin. You are not alone. This is not your forever, and you will be able to breathe, to laugh, and to live again. Welcome back, Wave Warriors. Today I wanted to talk to you about some shifts that happen in your life in grief after you start letting go of control. So is there such a thing as good grief? It's a tough question, and you may not even know as I ask this, because I wasn't able to see a lot of truths until I reflected 2 years down the road. Is it the fear of forgetting, the pain of losing control, or maybe it's the thought that if you let go, you're somehow betraying the one you lost? Is the future daunting because everything seems more unknown now? And you are a different person, and sometimes that change is also scary. I know how hard it is to loosen your grip on the things you feel like the only connection left. But here's the truth. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean that the love or the memories are gone. It means surrendering the pain so the healing can begin or continue. In today's episode, we're talking about 3 life-changing shifts that happen when you let go. And these aren't just feel-good ideas. They're powerful, God-ordained transformations that happen when you stop carrying what was never meant for you to hold alone. If you are one of these people, speaking to myself, who will take it to the altar and let it go and turn around and walk away, and who knows what time goes by. Maybe it's minutes, maybe it's days or weeks, but you turn around and you go running back and get it again. You're really not allowing God to have control. So let's dive in and talk about what happens when you let go and you let God do what only He can do. Shift number 1. You move from holding on to honoring. When we are deep in grief, holding on feels safe. It's like if we let go, we're leaving them behind, or we feel there's something wrong about feeling okay when they're gone, like it speaks to your relationship. But my friend, holding on to pain isn't the same as honoring their life. I remember when Monica died, I was holding on to so many what ifs and why didn't I's and why didn't God. I thought if I let go of that pain and anger, I was somehow betraying her memory. But God showed me that honoring her wasn't about staying stuck and sorrow. It was about living a life that reflected the love and faith that she shared. So the truth is, you honor your loved one by fully living, not by staying bound to the pain. When you let go of the guilt, the regret, the fear, you open the possibility to carry their legacy forward. Shift number 2, you exchange isolation for intimacy with God. Grief can make you feel like you're on an island. You pull away from people and sometimes even and especially from God. It's much easier to build walls to protect your heart from more hurt. But when you let go of the fear of being vulnerable with God, something powerful happens. Vulnerable means honest, which means the good, and especially the bad and the ugly. There was a point in my grief journey where I felt like God was silent. There was a time I stopped praying because it felt like it was a good way to get back at God because I didn't know what to say and all I had was anger. But when I finally laid down my pain at His feet, when I stopped pretending that I knew better than He did, that's when the connection and ultimately the intimacy returned. I wasn't holding God at arm's length anymore. I was letting Him in to the hardest places with more faith and less anger. And that's a process. See, letting go of isolation, it'll draw you closer to the heart of God. I know you know this verse by now, Psalms 34:18. It reminds us that God is close to the brokenhearted. When you allow yourself to be fully known in your pain, God will meet you there. Shift number 3 that you might see is that you trade control for surrender. If you're anything like me, you'll want to know how this is all going to work out. You want to know when the pain will ease up and what life will look like after your life-changing loss. But grief is the ultimate uncontrollable thing. So it tests you on many levels. If you're holding on to control like I did, it will be exhausting every day. I remember fighting to keep control, to manage my emotions, to predict my next breakdown, and keep life from falling apart, even as it was falling apart. And as I say this, I have to smile because I really did try to predict what a hard day like an anniversary would look like and how I would make it through. But when I finally let go, when I surrendered to God's plan instead of my own, I found peace I did not think was possible. Surrender isn't just giving up, it's giving it to God. When you trade your control for His perfect plan, and you have to remember that God is sovereign here, you're not left empty. You're filled with peace that only He can give. The ultimate shift is you move from grief to goodness. And here's the beautiful part. When you make these shifts, you don't just survive grief. We weren't made to survive grief. You step into the goodness that God has for you beyond it. You honor your loved one by living with purpose. You experience intimacy with God by inviting Him in to the hard places. You find peace when you let go of the need to control. And that, my friend, that's good grief. It is grief that is transformed by God's grace. A couple of scriptures to reflect on. Isaiah 41:10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and I will help you. And Matthew 11:28-30. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Years down the road, you're going to look back and you're going to see things that you can't see now. And I think it's designed that way. But you're going to see how you gave God anger and He gave you peace. You gave God your weakness and He gave you strength. It's quite amazing. So hold on, because that is coming. Until then, if you don't have a church home, visit my church, opendoorchurch.com. And remember that God will use your pain for purpose. Purpose beyond anything that you could imagine right now. Keep coming to the lighthouse, keep sitting on the couch, and keep taking action toward healing. Thank you for being here today. You know that by listening to this podcast, that's you taking action, and that's you showing up. I know this journey is so hard, but again, I promise you, you are not alone, and this is not your forever. Now, from time to time, you'll hear me talk about Monica. You didn't know Monica, but I wish you had. She was my best friend, my business partner, and was more like a sister. She was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma, and just 6 months later, she was gone. I watched those 6 months unfold in agonizing detail. The pain, the physical deterioration, the struggle for air, constant coughing. Y'all, if you've ever been a caretaker, you understand that that is gut-wrenching. But Monica didn't see it that way. She saw those 6 months as her walk toward healing, a journey of outrageous faith, complete dependence on the Lord, and a radical joy. While her body faded, her faith deepened. Every night, no matter how rough the day, she'd smile and say, "We had a great day, didn't we?" And if you can tell, that's where the name for this podcast comes from. See, her friendship changed my life. Her faith and death, though, they changed who I am. If you've ever wondered what it looks like to live above your circumstances, to walk through suffering with unshakable faith, or to witness someone dying and yet healing in the deepest way, then the book I wrote, Dying to be Healed, is a story you need to read. You can find this book on her journey in the Lighthouse community. Trust me, you'll never see pain or faith the same way again. And if you don't have a church home, I'd love for you to visit my church, opendoorchurch.com, because staying connected in faith, it makes a difference, especially if you're not able to walk back through the doors of your own church right now. Remember, grief isn't something you get over, but a great day is something you can get to. Until next time, keep taking action, those small steps forward, and know that healing, it will come.